watching Morning at NTV.
All right, this Thursday morning we bring you something in line of business, and with our business update we're going to be looking at a man who has actually achieved a milestone, and that milestone is changing the face of finance and banking, not just here in Uganda. Now he's being recognized across Africa and the world. Fintechs reshaping the financial inclusion ecosystem. Now a Ugandan fintech has become the first African company to win the Global SME Finance Platinum Award for the Product Innovation of the Year, organized by IFC, World Bank and SME Finance Forum. Now this competition includes the world's leading banks as well as fintechs. Today, access to finance in the country is faced with hosts of hurdles, including collateral and high rates on loans by financial institutions. Consumers in hundreds of SMEs cannot find the right choice given the many market players, all with different rates among other factors. Now I am joined by Vincent, who's the CEO FutureLink Technologies, and he's here to give us an understanding of the influence of fintech in actually advancing financial inclusion ecosystem in Uganda. Good morning to you, Vincent.
Good morning, Priscilla. I'm very delighted to be here.
Congratulations on being awarded for the Product Innovation of the Year.
Thank you very much. It's really great honor to be recognized for this very unique contribution, and a contribution that serves in Africa. Africa is a very complex market because it's largely fragmented. It's a fragmented community, and so you cannot have one generic product that serves masses. You have to be community responsive. And I think that award recognizes that shift that needs really to happen in Africa.
Okay, but first give us a background of FutureLink Technologies. What do you do?
So we are licensed by the central bank as a national payment system operator, and particularly we are the platform through which an ordinary person can access varied options of financial services and assess and choose the most appropriate. We call ourselves a community-driven marketplace for financial services. It's a new concept in banking where on one platform you are able to actually see what this service provider is providing, what charges, and then be able to compare hundreds. So we have automated about 300 circles on one platform, and through the app, the M-Circle app, which is downloadable on Android, Play Store, you are able to see, in just that point when you want to make a choice, which account you need to open, you are able to see and evaluate, and using our algorithms, you are able to choose the most responsive service.
Okay, all right. Then what attracted you to actually participate in these global awards?
So the work that we do is not just technology. The work that we do also involves the change of policy, the change of perception of the population, and that cannot be done just within the confines of your walls, because the World Bank, the IFC, plays a key role in defining policies of governments, in defining regulation, in defining also business models, and also giving confidence in the population to be able to actually take on such a service. So we put in this application. This was not the first time that we put in, because we want to demonstrate something new for Africa, something that is born of Africa, that is most responsive to the communities of Africa. And this, we believe, is the way to democratize financial services. If you look at, Africa, over 350 million people are still excluded in the financial system. And we believe that there are two reasons why people are still excluded. One is this mentality of having this big player designing a financial service product and pushing it down to the people. And it is out of touch with the people. So a product misfit of financial services, that is one thing. So you have access, but the people cannot connect with the service.
With the product.
And then the last one is affordability. You have access, But in this country, people still borrow at 10% per month. That is 120% per annum. There is, there is no business you're going to actually deploy and get that return on investment. So what we do is empower the end consumer to begin to have a voice in how in the design of the financial services, in the pricing of the financial services by their choice. And so we are already seeing that, SACCOs now are playing a key role because they are able to acquire more customers through our platform, the MSACCO app, and the end consumer themselves, through their choice, they are able to actually see and to show that we like this, we don't like this. And the SACCOs are being responsive.
Data in turn gets to be returned to those that have subscribed to your platform, so that they can better design things that are suitable for the current market.
Exactly.
Okay, that's very interesting, the power of fintech. Okay, Vincent, so back to the Platinum Awards. Your first participation was in 2018.
Yes.
And then you didn't go through. So what changed? What did you have to upgrade? What did you have to adjust as Future Link Technologies to be able to then stand out as the innovator of the year?
It's been lots of changes. Between 2018 and now, there have been many changes. One of them is, the regulation that came in Uganda, and for us to be able to apply to the central bank and acquiring that license, the National Payment System Operator license, and which now empowers us to go to the end consumer. Before then, we were not going to the end consumer directly, so we were not really a marketplace. We were working just serving SACCOs. But SACCOs in themselves, you can have hundreds and thousands of SACCOs, but how many people are actually being served? How many lives are actually changing? And if they are getting, services, at what cost are they getting the services? So these were the questions that we needed to actually first address. And by the regulation, the NPS regulation, by us acquiring the license, and also the experience for us to be able to actually iterate our product and understand what the customer needs and become more responsive to the customer. And that certainly has been really a great change.
Okay, all right. So in terms of the processes that you had to go through, can you walk us through the processes that you had to go through right to the final stage?
So IFC, World Bank, together with the SME Finance Forum, organizes this annual event. It's usually about 4 days event, and part of that is the awards. So there are different categories. Particularly, we went for the Product Innovation of the Year, and this particular one, you submit your application. There are more than 100 judges to assess the across the world, and then you wait. And until you are informed, that you have won. And this particular time, we went for the Product Innovation of the Year because we wanted to have an input in the shaping of regulation, because across Africa, there are lots of regulations that are actually coming up, the likes of NPS. In Zambia, we have also some operations, and we are seeing the similar regulations coming in place. So we wanted to influence the regulation, the policy making, and that is why we went for the Product Innovation of the Year.
Okay, all right. Now, Vincent, I know you got an accolade, but I also know that accolade came with, financial muscle backing to it. That reflected in the company's accounts. How much money was that, and how is it actually now transforming Future Link Technologies to do bigger and better things?
Thank you, Priscilla. Fortunately or unfortunately, actually, there is not a financial reward. It's recognition, but that recognition is fundamental in that it's able to actually unlock many conversations with investment, particularly at the same event. Talk about we had opportunities to meet people that we've been looking for 2 years, and suddenly the people you've been looking for 2 years now are just before you from Washington. So we are having very good conversations that are taking place. Certain appointments have been made already, which certainly are able to bring you the financial rewards that you are talking about. But also, for Uganda, when I stepped on this stage, people, you know, I was dressed in my chitenge, and people were beginning to ask more about Uganda. You know, what is the environment? How, you know, it was really a showcasing of Uganda and Africa. For all this time, there had never been any African country taking this award. So it was really a spark of conversation, a new conversation about the uniqueness of Africa, the community responsiveness of services that need really to happen. It's been really a good conversation. But also, I had an opportunity to interface with one of the judges, luckily, you know, and he told me one of the issues that you addressed was the scalability of financial services in Africa. Because it's one thing to come up with a product, it's another to actually have the communities embrace it. And this was our key selling point, that the communities are involved because they own this.
And how have you actually gotten a Ugandan community to buy into your service?
Okay, beautiful. So like I mentioned, we work with SACCOs. We work with SACCOs, and to the SACCO...
Financial SACCOs.
Yes, it's financial SACCOs, you know, financial cooperatives. And for the SACCO, the benefit is that, you know, working with our platform, you are able to acquire remote customers, you are able to mobilize savings, you are able to grow transaction revenues, and you are able to serve your customers at 10% the ordinary cost. We achieve that because of economy of scale. We have brought together 300 SACCOs, and so we have negotiated certain services that drastically reduce the infrastructure cost by 90%. And so the SACCO has an incentive to come to us, but also the end consumer has an incentive in that they have unlimited choice of financial services on just that MSACCO app. You know, downloading this MSACCO app, and you are able to actually get a range of services, and you make a choice there and then. Okay,
so this was the 5th edition of these awards, but in terms of African representation, what did it look like in 2018 when you first participated versus this edition?
I think that there has been some work, you know, across Africa. We have seen Equity Bank in Kenya, you know, participate, and some other banks in Nigeria. But I think that this time round, because of this top recognition, it was really a big statement. It was a big statement that, hey, Africa, we are here, and our services and our solutions work differently. Give us space. Give us space. And that also adds confidence in the investment communities, the VCs, the private equity, to bring in money, because once you address the issue of scalability, then you are building confidence in the investment community to actually bring in money, because they know that that money can actually be sufficiently deployed.
Okay, all right. And so from your, you know, diverse experience and working with different people, I'm going to ask you a tough one. Where do you think the Silicon Valley of Africa is?
It's a very good question, and I think, thank you for asking this very question. I think that Uganda needs really to respond to this very particular question. Right now, we have the big four on Africa. We have Kenya, we have Nigeria, we have Egypt, we have South Africa. And it's really unfortunate. One of the things that is happening in these four economies, four markets, is talent, development of talent. Their curriculums have changed. Their universities have changed. If you look at the University of Cape Town, the courses are different. If you look at Strathmore in Kenya, the curriculums have changed, inclined towards business development. But here you look at what is coming out of our universities, and you feel we are being left behind. So we see Nairobi is really making really a very good progress. Government really needs to step up. Everyone needs to step up. The universities need to step up. But also the media. Yes, the media needs to take even more interest in writing. If you look at Silicon Valley, you have certain media that is focused at fintechs, they are journalists that understand technology, and they are able to follow up on business models that are shaping the world. And in so doing, they're actually creating a new generation that is responsive to technology. Because without the media participating in that, without journalists that are keen to actually write about these different business models, even when you invent, it remains with you.
Yeah.
You are not able to shift the population along with the technology. And that means then that you have markets, products that will be coming from different markets and spilling over, and we shall always be playing catch up.
Okay. All right. So there's so many people who are stepping into the fintech space here in Uganda. Of course, there's disruptions, the generic disruptions that have affected each one of us. In your capacity, how have you been able to overcome these disruptions to continue on in your company?
Yeah, very good question. We've come up with a business model. Our view is that competition is really not a key driver to growth of any business. We don't look at competition much. We have clarified our purpose to democratize Africa's financial services, and that becomes now the driver of what partnerships we take up, of how we serve the customer, of many, many things. Without clarity of purpose, you'll be jumping from one thing to another, and very often that is why the businesses fail. Businesses in most cases do not fail for lack of customers, but lack of focus. You need to be able to focus at one area and define it and breathe in some new breath, something new. And this is what we do. We are not competing with anyone, not any bank, certainly not anyone, because we are doing something new. And the IFC World Bank has validated that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have mentioned the education system. How best then would you recommend we change that education system? Because I know Ministry of Education is trying from grassroots, at least they're trying to change the curriculums at secondary level.
Yes.
So far right now they have adjusted the curriculum at O level. They intend to adjust the one at a higher level next year, in the next 2 years. So does that actually, in one way or another, drive to what you're saying? Yeah,
I think that there has been a good attempt in terms of shifting the curriculum. I have had the unique opportunity to participate in the redesign, for example, of the curriculum of computer science at Makerere University. But I think that there has been some bit of focus on the skills with the new curriculum that has come in primary and secondary, that there's a bit of element of skill. But I think what substantially is lacking in this curriculum is leadership. I think that leadership is a key ingredient in helping the next entrepreneur, in helping the next employee that is employable. Leadership is a key requirement for every aspect of life. And so you need leadership for everything, for family, for business, for being able to actually do something, follow through, make a promise and follow through. And that, unfortunately, seems to be lacking across. You have some skills, but skills cannot take us alone without actually sufficient leadership. And so I think that leadership needs to be infused at university. Technology, the curriculum that is for technology and computer science needs also to involve business modeling. Because when we talk about, Facebook, we talk about Apple, we talk about Microsoft, it was not for the technology. It was about the business model that includes everyone. Because you can have a technology but get nowhere if it is not responsive to the society's needs. You will love it. You'll be happy. You will send screenshots of the technology, but it will change no life. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So business modeling is a key requirement for all technology courses. In my view, I would require that there is a course unit on business modeling and another course unit on leadership for all courses at university.
Okay, I do agree on the all courses at the university. Finally, what's the future of FutureLink Technologies?
We are just really excited. We are excited about the Africa's opportunity. We're excited about Uganda's opportunity. And I think that in the next 5 years, more people are going to be included and more people will access financial services more affordably. Right now, we see people still borrowing at that high rate, but with the work that we are doing, I think that there will be more 6 million people being served officially within the known financial system, and the average lending rate will be not more than 20% in this country.
All right. Thank you so much, Vincent, and looking forward to that future. And this is how fintech is actually aiding inclusion in terms of financial services for all, and competitive markets, but also consumers have choices at their fingertips now. That's definitely value addition. So we want to say thank you so much to FutureLink Technologies for that. And if you are there and you're creative, or you have an idea, or you started something but you're not sure which direction you should go, then join a community such as this so that you can be able to tap into the anointing of those that are making it in the industry. For now, we take a breather. We return with TechNote.